is a Cosmic Octave original podcast.
Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
Episode 164. Off panel, off topic. What was the face you were making to me?
I'm Tyler.
I'm Jake. This is the show that you know.
This is the show where you come to listen to us pontificate on various matters.
$10.
On various matters relating to
$1 million, bitch.
entertainment,
That's how much that
movies,
word is worth.
comic books, music, and other venues,
Pornography?
or things that we want to explore and talk to you about.
I'm trying to get him a cuss.
There's also a lot of dick jokes. That's not technically a cuss.
What?
Well, see, I'm on point now. I'm not gonna cuss or sing for as long as I can. I might
As
make
long
it through
as you live.
I might make it through the whole
The
show.
rest of my life. See, I can sing all I want. I didn't have to commit to that. It's a minute 22.
I
into the
just
show.
committed it to myself. You're right.
You committed to the fans.
Well, we already did a 5-minute version where we
It's
just
your fault.
it just
It's
sucked.
your
It
fault.
wasn't good.
Be mad at yourself.
Yeah, so we started over.
It's true.
But now that we've started over, and
I cracked my phone.
during the 5-minute thing, I think it was 56 seconds that we swore and sang,
Yeah.
and it was like, you know what, we can do better than that.
The first run through.
Now
yeah.
you broke at 122, but I have it, so I'm still on.
Hey. What do
I'm
you
still
mean?
on a timer. You said you can sing and it doesn't matter.
And what about drops? Because Alex Jones said, bitch.
That has nothing to do. No, I'm talking about just me. This is a personal.
Oh. You're going on a personal
Personal
journey. A personal character arc. Some growth.
Personal goal to try not to swear or sing as long as I can on this show.
And if you do, then you could say,
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
There's going to be a lot of people tuning in to be like, I want to hear that crazy guy Tyler who cusses and sings all the time.
well, you're fucking out of luck.
That was Jake, not me.
But it could have been you.
It could have been you. Swear at me, you.
What a disturbing song. I want you to be mad. Scream, dang it. That does not sound healthy.
So
Speaking of healthy.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford. No.
Been
No.
eating his vitamins.
Well, I think there's been some leaks of the MCU. Before we saw that shot in the trailer of his throwing the shield down. Yeah. But we never actually seen full on the face and what it looks like in high definition because it was D23 happened. They showed a lot of stuff. A lot of it got leaked. And so what we're mostly talking about is the Red Hulk stuff and Thunderbolts, Daredevil. They had trailers that... Well, Thunderbolts was actually like a scene.
Mm-hmm.
And Daredevil, the only thing I saw was like a trailer that just hasn't come out yet. It was just like this, probably get released in a couple months or something.
Yeah. When's it supposed to come out next year?
I think so, yeah. And it's supposed to be, if I remember,
Summer.
if I remember
May.
correctly, it's still supposed to be 18 episodes, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Well, they're planning to split
Why?
it. They're planning to split it in half, do 9 and 9, which I'm fine with. But it does. I don't know. I feel like
We'll see.
8 to 10 is kind of a sweet spot. I feel like for a season, in my opinion, especially if you're doing hour-long episodes, which they will be. Most likely, they're going to be like 45 to 55 minutes.
How long was it?
You didn't say it. You stopped.
I said no fucking.
You said no You didn't
No,
say
I
it.
said I got to shit. Yeah. I said no fucking
Hold on.
It's too late now. I already did it.
Sloppy.
How long did I go?
I don't know, like 4 minutes.
That's pretty good.
4:10.
4:10. The amount of time it takes me to say fuck. I just want to be left.
Nope, that's not the one. Because that's a long one.
Let's go. Let's do this. So we're talking about.
Do it. Do it.
All right.
So
So anyway, there was a lot of leaks that came out with the stuff that came out. So
Red Hulk looks pretty cool.
They did a celebrating 85 years promotional video, and then they kind of showed of like what's next, of like a sizzle reel of
Sizzle.
Brave New World and of what's the other stuff that's Agatha and Thunderbolts and other Daredevil, all that stuff. They're but they're like quick glances. You kind of see like, oh, Daredevil's back in the red outfit, and you see the final shot is Harrison Ford looking like Thunderbolt Ross's Red Hulk. Funny. One of the funniest things I saw on Twitter was someone captioned it and was like, "What the fuck is a Red Hulk? Like, what does this all mean?" And it's the same thing with She-Hulk. With the whole thing of like Marvel created these characters initially because they just didn't want DC to own She-Hulk, because they only owned Hulk at the time. So then they created She-Hulk when the show was coming out to get that and be like, no, we own it. So then we can, it's the same with all these other Hulks.
Well, let me.
You're the expert here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down the road of the Hulk. Okay, no, just chill, everybody.
You're gonna go down the side of the road with your thumb.
The first issue, they were gonna make him gray, but green was cheaper. The cheaper ink, and so they used that, and so initially he was supposed to be gray. That's where the Gray Hulk came about back in the
Jeff
80s.
Loeb also has Hulk Gray. It's good series you could read.
Sure.
Have you checked it out?
I have not, but it's any of those. Is it Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale?
Yeah, it was the
Any
Spider-Man
of,
blue,
any of
Hulk
those,
Gray,
they did some. I thought they did
Daredevil yellow, or something like that.
DC stuff too, or no?
Oh yeah, Jeff Loeb did Long Halloween.
I'm saying they did stuff together with,
Oh.
any of those books that they did together, like those colored books, like Daredevil yellow.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, there's Spider-Man blue, Hulk Gray. Yeah.
Really fucking good books. But so then it becomes a question of all these different Hulks and different personalities, and Doc Samson eventually gets everybody into one piece, and that's where we get the smart Hulk era, the late 80s, early 90s, okay?
Which is kind of what we see in Endgame, right?
Yeah. That's the smart Hulk
Professor
era.
Hulk.
Right. Professor Hulk is what it's called, because he's in full control of his faculties, and he's reconciled the fact that he's the Hulk, and he's like, I'm going to make the most of this.
I'm just going to use my genius mind that I
basically,
still have.
I don't really, I wasn't reading comics when the Red Hulk came out, but I do know that it was a well-kept secret who it was for a long time, who was the Red Hulk. And because of all the issues with the separate personalities and whatnot, and the Gray Hulk and the Green Hulk and Professor Hulk and all the shit, I want to say they tried to play it off like Red Hulk was an aspect of the Hulk that they didn't know about previously, who had become corporeal, become a physical form. That's what they were kind of playing with. And then when it became known that it was Thunderbolt Ross, that was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
There's a Blue Hulk.
Which is fitting. Yeah, we've talked about it.
Technically called A-Bomb, and that's Rick Jones, and he's technically blue, but he doesn't look like the Hulk.
There's
He
a
looks
TikTok
like
clip.
he looks more like Abomination. Did we really do this?
No, but we had mentioned it. There's a TikTok clip of me being pissed because I'm like, "There's a blue one," and they're like, "Yeah, it's A-Bomb." I'm like, "Ow!" But yeah, we talked about that, Rick. And the thing that I think is interesting about this, and first of all, high definition look of it, I think it looks great. And
Yeah.
we already found out from Comic-Con that he had screen cap for this. Sorry, I don't mean to keep clicking into the mic there.
God,
It's dry in my mouth.
jerk.
But
Drink some water.
I think it looks good. Like, it looks interesting. I love the intrigue of it, because at first I'm like, okay, why are we putting Hulk villains into this movie? But on another hand, I'm like, this is kind of an interesting take and an interesting perspective.
Wasn't Red Hulk a member of the Thunderbolts at one point in the
Yes.
comics? Okay, so
Rick Remender did one.
So I'm thinking that. Jeez, bless you. Wow.
And
Allergies
in
are
that
killing this
yeah,
guy.
Jeez Louise. It was Punisher, Deadpool, Red Hulk, and there were like a few others. I can't remember.
Well,
but
here's my guess, and don't quote me on this. Obviously, I'm not sure where the leader fits in all of this, but I do know that Thunderbolt Ross at some point at the end of this movie will become a wanted criminal or will go to the vault or
I
whatever.
thought the Thunderbolts team was named after him. That's why they're called the Thunderbolts.
Well, maybe he
Would
dies
that
at the
make
end,
sense?
and that's why they have the asterisk. Because they said there's a reason for the asterisk. Everybody who talks about the movie is like, there's a reason. It's very specific.
Okay. Well, maybe they're tied together. But my point is,
If this,
well,
if they're naming
anyway,
it-
I'm trying to make a point.
no, let's
No,
speculate.
I'm
Come
trying to.
on.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Listen to me.
I think initially I hated the idea of having Hulk villains in this, but
Right.
I think making Thunderbolt Ross the president,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that it is a situation where he becomes the Red Hulk,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the new
Which the leader probably has something
the
to do
new
with.
Black Captain America fighting the president of the United States.
Mm.
Like, okay, we're getting a little heavy-handed with our politics, but I think also on the surface of it, take that away from it. Just take the idea of this: Captain America, not even mentioning his race, just mention this: Captain America is going to literally fight the president of the United States.
Yeah.
Which is the single most comic booky, silly idea of a plot, and I fucking love it.
Well-
And then, yes, of course, you could play the race of it, of him saying you're not Steve Rogers, and then playing into that whole internet hate shit.
Well, in the great Mark Gruenwald, Carrion Dwyer storyline where Cap gives up his shield, which introduced us all to John Walker in the comics. He actually does make it to the Serpent Society puts some shit in the water to try and get everybody to turn into lizards, and the president of the United States, who's Ronald Reagan at the time, drinks it. So Captain America, as the captain, that
maybe it is
that
his-
uniform becomes U.S. agent's uniform in the comics. Okay, after they have to brainwash John Walker because he kills so much that they're like, we know we can use him, but he's bloodthirsty. Yeah. So how do we whatever?
He'll
so
come in and play later.
They brainwash him
in Thunderbolts.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you're onto something. Maybe the asterisk has to play in. I feel like Captain America.
Well, Captain America actually
and
fights Ron Reagan as a lizard in the
Jesus,
comics,
that's awesome. I love
because
it.
he has to.
I love it.
He comes at him and shit.
Well, here's the thing, too. But I think that
Hold on there, Mr. President.
I think Brave New World and Thunderbolts are pretty connected. In some way.
They gotta be.
Because,
They're coming
again,
out close to each
If
other.
I remember correctly, isn't the whole point of the name of the Thunderbolts is it was his team? I'm gonna have to look this up, but I'm pretty sure that's the point.
I don't know. I do not know if Thunderbolts had anything to do with Thunderbolt Ross, unless he started the team as a general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, but they're every single.
But in later iterations, yeah, Red Hulk is a part of the team. But
Every time they've mentioned the movie and the fact that there's an asterisk, they've said like there is a specific, and I think that ties into it somehow. And wouldn't it be kind of a good idea to kill off Thunderbolt Ross in the MCU if it's Harrison Ford?
Yeah,
maybe
'cause
not
he's
knowing if
old.
he'll be.
Yeah.
Look, he's definitely friggin' spry, dude.
Yeah.
And he looks in better shape than I am.
Oh, it's Deadpool. Also, the Marvel Now team I'm thinking of was also Red Hulk, Deadpool, Elektra, Venom, and Punisher. Agent Venom. Nice. By the way.
So
I'm trying to look. I'm looking up the origins here because there's Zemos as Thunderbolts, and then okay. Anyway, I think that the asterisk has to do with something with that because the new Thunderbolt. I don't know if there's something in the comics related to it. I just think it would make sense to call him the Thunderbolts because that's his name, but it's his nickname.
maybe
anyway.
that's why they haven't shown us any trailers and stuff.
I don't know, but
When does that one come out? Next fall?
February is when Captain America comes out, and
Okay.
then I think Thunderbolts is supposed to be maybe in November. I can't remember the date.
If that's the case, then we'll probably not see much from Thunderbolts until Brave New World. Closer to that.
Yeah.
Because I think they're going to show that Red Hulk is in the Thunderbolts, and then they'll kill him off.
But see, there's the Thunderbolts originally appeared in Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
In '97.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this was their Suicide Squad. So
And Zemo was a
their
different
whole thing. It was a team of
Zemo was a
supervillains.
different name.
Yeah.
It was, what was he called?
Baron Helmet. Hold on here. I gotta do some research. Anyway, I can't find anything about him leading the team, but I'm sure maybe that's what it's related to. I don't know. But what I wanted to say is I love that we can speculate because I still think what you were talking about, the Serpent Society, I think we're kind of playing with that a little bit here too, because if you remember, back in 2013, 2014, they had a whole plan, and originally it wasn't supposed to be Winter Soldier. It was supposed to be the Serpent Society. Was the sequel after Avengers.
Citizen V.
Citizen V, okay. But they changed it to be Winter Soldier, and then we went to Civil War, and the rest is history.
Yep.
So they have definitely been trying to do something with the Serpent Society for a while. And then there was that rumor that this Brave New World was going to deal with the Serpent Society early on, and then they changed it to deal with Red Hulk and the leader and all that other stuff. Yes. So I wouldn't be surprised if this somehow leads to this, or Thunderbolts somehow leads to Serpent Society stuff, or somehow does it. But that's another thing I love about the MCU is they're embracing the fact that, like, okay, we can, like, with Civil War, it is completely different in the movies than it is in the comics.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That works fine. And, like, the stuff that they do with Thanos is still different with the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, and all that stuff is totally different with how they do it in the movie. And that works. And I love the idea that they say, hey, we're going to take this Hulk villain and put it in a Captain America movie and do a smart way of doing the context of you have the symbol of what America should be fighting the leader of America in this movie. That's such an interesting concept. And add on the layer of, like, okay, we're going back to that Winter Soldier, like, spy. Like, I think Captain America works better when it's a spy movie. I don't know why it does. It just does.
Arguably the best.
Even with the red, white, and blue fucking outfit, it still works.
Arguably the best Captain America movie is
Winter Soldier.
Oh,
that movie's fucking incredible. That run.
I still like Civil War better because they had better Lego sets.
Yeah.
Fucking way better Lego sets. I don't even know if they had ones for Winter
I love
Soldier.
what Joe Johnston did with the first one, by the way.
Me too.
In a way that...
Because I like Captain America. And when that movie came out, I was
it's
all
the right amount
in, dude.
The right amount of cheese. It's the right amount of cheesy. Because it understands it's a period propaganda piece.
I feel bad that God dang it.
Hugo Weaving?
I feel bad that he didn't have a good time. I feel bad that he'll never come back. He said that before.
Yeah, that's why the dude that was a different dude. It
was Ross Marquand.
Anyway,
I'm not done. No.
Well, I wanted to talk about the other stuff with Marvel, but this whetted my appetite. I still want to see it coming in February.
Wet yourself?
Yes. I want to see what.
You're not even using it.
No. I want to
see. All this
I want to finish my fucking point. No, I can't now because you made me laugh. I want to see this Captain America get the spotlight, and I want to see what Sam Wilson's Captain America can do. And I love stacking the deck with the fact that he's fighting the President of the United States. And what would a world react to with, like, oh, if the president gets mad at any point, he's just going to turn into this Red Hulk.
That's why I think, like, I know I keep talking about
and then you can also think about the ramifications of Civil War with it, too,
Yeah,
Maybe. Sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah, if he's a human, if he's a superhuman, then he's got to abide by the Sokovia Accords. Doesn't he? Isn't that still a thing, or is it not? I have no idea in the comics.
I don't know the whole Sokovia Accords in terms of that, because who knows with everything post-Endgame and post-Blip. How the government would work with that, I don't know. But that is a good question, and it's probably going to get brought up in the movie because we don't know when he actually turns into Red Hulk.
No, we don't.
And maybe the leader has a way of, like, pulling that out of him. Like, he found a way to not be the Red Hulk, and then the leader has a way to, like, manipulate him to do it. I don't know.
I feel like somehow, some way,
he's got to be involved somehow.
Obviously,
right?
The leader's involved, but how? Are we talking like he secretly experimented on Thunderbolt Ross, or even worse, did Thunderbolt Ross enlist the leader, Samuel Stearns?
He's still alive at the end of Incredible Hulk.
He is.
So, yeah.
And Tim Blake Nelson's coming back, am I right?
Yeah, they just haven't released anything. And I'm glad. I don't want to see it until the movie comes out. And I can see,
I'm kind of hoping for super cartoony giant head.
Yes, I want a huge-ass head.
Right?
If we're going to commit to fucking Wolverine wearing the Batman kissing
Give me a
cowl,
fucking 9'4" green forehead with a really kick-ass, like, hair piece.
Ever since someone brought that up, I cannot not see it.
What?
That Wolverine's mask looks like two Batmen kissing. The way that
I think I noticed. I think that crossed my mind somehow during the actual movie, like because part of it was CGI.
we already put it on, but that's what I'm saying. We're gonna see that kind of Wolverine. We better see a big ass head of the leader. Is all I'm saying. And I mean, we're
If
at
the
point,
technology's there and you're paying the fucking animators, MCU.
I heard that. I also heard a rumor.
Then
Timeout.
go to town.
I want to time out and go to the DCU for a second. I heard a rumor that James Gunn finished filming early on Superman to give more time for the visual effects. Which is, if the case, that is true, that should be common practice.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how people don't, which that needs to be said and done in a way of like, you need to incorporate that into your planning and incorporate that into your budget and incorporate how much time you would probably need to release. And so, and I think, I truly do think that Marvel is starting to understand a little bit more that like maybe people like Deadpool so much because the last time we saw Deadpool on the big screen was 2018. And there was so much time and development going into that third movie that when it finally came out, like, it's surprising how enjoyable and fun that movie is, considering it was stopped twice because of strikes. And then, it's just
and then the flip side of that is the Flash, which took 9 fucking years and looked
still
like
didn't-
shit, and probably still ran some animators into the ground.
Other things were in that 85th anniversary video that already had some leaks. So they showed some.
Good on James Gunn, by the way. But yeah.
If that is true. There's more. They showed a little bit. They showed glimpses of Thunderbolts. They showed a quick glimpse of Daredevil. So Thunderbolts, I saw someone did leak the scene that was shown, and I saw like I didn't watch all of it because I'm like I don't know if I don't want to spoil it for myself.
Yeah.
So I watched some of it, and what I did see, it looked fun. Like, the pacing was nice. The action looked great. Like, I love the choreography. It actually seemed like there was a little bit more choreography. I always want to give, and I've said it on this show and other shows so much about how much I want to take time and applaud these shows or movies that want to actually have in-camera fucking choreography.
Yes.
Because I cannot tell you how much better it looks when it actually looks like people are fighting and actually punching each other.
Yes.
And
you have to have like,
and I want people to be safe, and I understand certain
Right,
things you
but
have to do
that's
CG,
why you practice it.
but you should do as much as you can to not use it because, and this scene it was cool because we got to see different dynamics. We got to see Ghost, we haven't seen since Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I just want to wrap it up with that. And we got to see Wyatt Russell's U.S. agent fighting Florence Pugh, Yelena, the new Black Widow. And you see her
Yelena Belova.
Belova, yeah. You see her fight styles like a Black Widow. It is really cool, and it's like, wow, again, I've missed these characters. Ghost didn't really have much in that Ant-Man movie, but it's cool to see her character get a second chance, you know what I mean?
A great example of really well-done choreography is the final battle in Revenge of the Sith between Anakin and Obi-Wan. Because if you know anything about the lead up to that, you know, Ewan and Hayden like practiced hours a day for months to get the choreography just right. And that's how you make sure you're safe.
Yeah.
And then they fucking nailed it. They fucking nailed it, bro. Bro. Hey, bro.
And I'll talk.
Hey, bro.
I want to talk about that because I kind of have a double thing with that because I haven't finished it because I tried to watch it. This is the I'll talk about that.
Is this your long box?
Yeah, that'll be my long box.
Well,
I had one already, but that might be partial for that. But
partial credit.
Well, I just saying like what I saw.
Mine's kind of like
it's
an
nice.
amalgamation of shows.
After having all these bright colored CGI fights in the MCU for so long, it is nice to see something that is a little bit lower stakes, close quarters combat. And it already seems like these dynamics kind of already work, and I'm interested to see how it looks better than I expected, the little bit that I saw, and then I didn't have much expectation, and I'm like, oh, this could be interesting. This could be fun.
Could be interesting.
I think it would help, and I don't think it will be, but I think it would have helped maybe if it were a little bit more R-rated, but because we've already crossed that threshold with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to see much. Only certain things are going to get that.
Yeah. Like the Blade that we're never getting.
Yeah. Well, and then I'm trying to figure out how they're going to do the Sentry with the Thunderbolts. Like, that's going to be so interesting.
The Sentry?
Yeah.
Oh, the Sentry.
The Sentry.
I keep thinking you say a century, and I'm like, what?
Which is, we've talked about on the show, is a very interesting character. I don't know how they're going to deliver it.
Are they saying he's in it?
That was supposed to be the dude who played Glenn on Walking Dead. He's also Invincible. It's Steven something. I can't remember his last name.
Steven Yeun?
Yeun? Yeah.
Yeah, but he hasn't. He
backed out
yeah.
because of scheduling or whatever. And I can't remember. They recast the Sentry. But the Sentry is supposed to be the thing that they're after, the guy they're after.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know. But that could be a diversion for something else. I don't know. But I wonder how it's going to go out, how it plays out. But again, what I saw, I was kind of impressed. I was like, this is better than I anticipated. And my low expectations were raised a little bit. Will I see it in the theater? Yeah, because, of course, we're completionists, you and I. We have to see these.
Oh, I made it. Oh,
we have to see these movies in theaters.
Taskmaster's in it.
Yes, Taskmaster was also in the scene that I saw. I believe.
Okay,
I think I saw almost everybody. Even David Harbour showed up.
Harrison Ford as Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross is in it.
There you go. That's how it's going to connect.
Lewis Pullman as Bob/Sentry.
Ooh.
Geraldine Viswanathan as Mel, DeFontaine's assistant. Additionally, Lawrence Fishburne and Rachel Weisz are expected to reprise their MCU roles
from the
as Bill Foster and Melina Vostokoff. What's the premise? Let's see here.
They fight the Sentry.
A group of anti-heroes goes on missions for the American government. Okay.
Yeah, they're super vague on the plot. But anyway, should be interesting. I like it. I like that they're doing taking chances.
Everybody's got some sort of written,
and
thing.
Honestly,
and the only one who doesn't is Lewis Pullman as Bob/Sentry. And it just takes you to the Sentry Bob Reynolds thing.
And if it goes the way I'm expecting, it's all going to blow up in a few years anyway, so let's just enjoy the ride. You know what I mean? Have some fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it.
Whatever, dude. Whatever.
All right. And
I don't care.
The last bit of leaks that I saw a trailer for
Was it my pants?
For Daredevil.
I didn't shake enough.
Daredevil Born Again was the trailer that I saw that was kind of grainy, like several.
Did you like that?
I'm ignoring it. Someone was clearly filming with their phone, but so it was kind of grainy. And I'm wondering when they're ever going to release it online.
When are you going to ever release it online?
But let me tell you this right now.
Baby.
If you were concerned and with how it was originally and you're hoping for a better product now, I think this is striking a lot of chords.
I think
Netflix show did.
Have fucking struck gold, motherfucker.
I think this is hitting a lot of the notes of that Netflix show from what I've seen. I saw Deborah Ann Wool come back. I saw Foggy. We saw glimpses of them. We also see we get to see Kingpin again. I can't think of his name. Vincent D'Onofrio as Fisk.
Fucking,
the bald fat guy.
Fucking bald fat guy.
The big guy. And then we finally do get to see John Barenthal as Frank Castle.
Why don't you just marry John Barenthal as Frank Castle, the Punisher? Because you talk about him enough.
We talked about it for the show.
You talk about him about as much as I talk about the asterisk on Thunderbolts. A lot.
Okay, go back and fucking watch that show and try and deny Charlie Cox and John Barenthal's chemistry, you ass. Season 2, if they would have stayed focused, which they should have just stayed with either the Frank storyline or the Han storyline.
No shit.
Would have been fucking incredible.
Yeah.
His storyline was awesome, and I loved
that
it.
whole, what was it, 3 episodes where they're like all on the roof?
1 batch, 2 batch, penny and a dime. Come on, are you fucking kidding me? And then that whole fucking prison riot where he murders that whole prison block. Come on. Go back and watch that show. It's incredible.
You watch that show. It's incredible.
It is.
Hi.
Wow. Daredevil. I'm the Punisher.
How are you? I'm the Daredevil. I'm the Punisher.
That's so different, you and I. Except I kill and you don't.
I'm blind and you're not.
Wait, is he playing both roles?
Christopher Walken in the role of a lifetime.
Christopher Walken and Christopher Walken in
Daredevil and the Punisher.
Bullseye.
Buddy trip.
Is he Bullseye too? I don't miss.
I've come to kill both of you.
Hey, that
I don't miss.
the man with the horns made me miss.
Stop throwing that
And he's
billy
in the
club at
same
me.
fucking outfit as Colin Farrell.
I can kill you
I'd-
with a
oh my
paperclip.
God. Someone do that. I don't have the time to deep fake it. Have somebody do it. Lord, ladies and gentlemen, Lord of mercy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a fan of Marvel Comics. So much so that I made fan film.
I decided to do a one-man play of Mark Steven Johnson
with the help of CGI. Waiting for Godot.
He did not do the Michael Clark Duncan parts, though. He just left it be. Because,
He's a professional.
he's a professional, exactly. R.I.P. Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah, true.
I will just, honestly,
I think my favorite role of his, honestly, was
Green
in
Mile?
Slammin' Salmon.
Oh.
Have you ever seen that?
No.
The Broken Lizard movie.
No.
He plays this. He plays
don't
this really like shitty boss. He's like a boxer type who likes put all his money into this restaurant in Florida,
Yeah.
and he's just really dumb because he has no, he's punch drunk and stuff from boxing for so long and shit. So it just doesn't. Brain doesn't work or whatever. And there's this point where he's rapping and he starts rapping and he just completely stops and he's like, "Was that a martini?" He just like walk. He's just really funny. Fuck you. That's my favorite Michael Clark.
Way to
Duncan.
derail the show with that. Thanks.
My favorite Michael Clark. Why don't you fuck off, man? All right, fuck face.
Have you? What?
Don't. I don't. You. Barrett.
I don't know. I look.
Where's our goddamn our things? Like, where's the sign? No, where's the Seinfeld thing? To bring us back, or where's Get Tomorrow? We have like 14 different sound drops to bring us back on
Fuck
track,
you.
and
All
you're
right.
not using
How's that
any
for
of
a
them.
sound drop?
Is that gonna help us?
How's that, huh?
Ew, fuck you. Okay. Sorry.
You fucking deserve it.
You fucking deserve it.
All right. Today we're gonna be. So last week we talked about Absolute Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman and the whole Absolute line and what that was, and we're trying to figure out what DC.
Were we
All-In
talking
was.
about how much it sucked last week, and then
Oh wow.
no, because remember we were talking about the symbol and like what the hell.
Oh, how
is
much
that?
I hated the bat symbol.
Right.
That was the worst one.
But my brother and I went to the dog park on Sunday morning. It's a weekly thing. He takes his dog to the dog park, and I go with. That's kind of the only time that we hang out. So we get to chit chat, talk about life. He's my older brother, so I like to take advice. Also,
Do you play fetch?
No, but his dog is pretty cool. Tough. But so we're talking about him, like, because I like to get his ideas about stuff, because I am a nerd, like I am, because my older brother had comic books all laying around when he was, when I was growing up and stuff. So I'd read these, and get to know these comic books, and I loved all these stories and went to Star Wars and all that stuff and all the toys. And he was telling me something that you say is kind of prophetic, because he was telling me, I was saying, why do you think the Batman symbol and da-da-da, and he said, well, if you notice that he's really like super powered, looks almost.
Yeah.
I think
just
it's a world where
gigantic.
Darkseid wins, and he's been like raised by parademons. And you asked me if he knew about Total War or something, or Absolute War.
Well, there's Absolute Power. So this came out in July, the release. So I was just digging deeper, and
Okay.
I wanted to talk more about
Yeah.
it. So
I'm very interested.
so
to know how
Absolute Power
close
is what's
we're
going to end in October.
Absolute Powers.
Absolute Power.
Okay.
No S. Power. Very specific.
And what was that?
It's very specific.
What was that?
I don't fucking
You're such a dick.
So Fallout. So this is from DC.com. The fallout from Absolute Power. The DC.
Can you pause for a second?
What the
I
fuck?
fucking hate it when they're like, the fallout from this giant thing is going to lead into this giant thing. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
The fallout from Absolute Power, the DC's superheroes battle against the Trinity of Evil, will result in a seismic change to DC Comics this October. Today, the publisher revealed DC All In, a line-wide initiative combining exciting reimagining, again, reimagined universe of DC superheroes, an ongoing line of core titles featuring both new directions for DC's mainstay superheroes. So, All In #1, which is coming in October, is supposed to set it up. So it's saying, following the events of Absolute Power, the heroes of the core DC universe have fought against the deep divisions of the world around them to usher in a new era of unity. And just in time, too, because Darkseid has returned. Superman gathers every DC superhero on Earth to hold a line against a vastly different version of the Lord of the Apocalypse.
Lord of Apocalypse!
So, yeah, it's just all this shit. So it is what we thought. It is what your brother thought. We're going to create a whole new fucking universe, everybody. So the DC All-In special sets the table for the DC Absolute Universe, led by the return of fan-favorite writer Scott Snyder. The creation of the Absolute Universe is how I imagine coming back to DC, and DC All-In will be a great jumping on point for new readers as well as lapsed fans to discover new stories to love and a chance to explore new directions in store for DC's core series.
No.
End quote.
No.
Why?
No.
Why?
Stop with the fucking reboots. Jesus H. Give me one fucking year of basic fucking continuity. Pare it down to like 10 heroes and 20 villains, okay? That's it. Stop it. Stop it with like, oh, you know what? We're gonna give you a series about Red Robin and his goddamn team of thieves. Why? Nobody wanted that. Nobody fucking wanted that. No, just give me Superman. Give me Wonder Woman. Give me 2 Batman titles because he should have 2 Batman titles. We should just have 2 Batman titles. Give me Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Green Lantern, Green Arrow. What else? Flash? Yeah, Flash. Yeah. No Cyborg. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Black Lightning. I don't know. But give me 10 heroes, $10 for 1 year. See if you can handle it. Can you fucking handle that, DC? I don't think you can handle it. I don't think you can give me 12 goddamn months of a fucking continuity so basic that I honestly, within 6, you'd be like, we have to change, you guys. The sales suck. You haven't even seen the sale. Yeah, but I heard.
But I want to say, I again, you can't have your cake and eat it too. So we compliment DC for being flexible and reimagining their characters. But at the same time, it's like, why? Why do we need
To
this?
me, there is no core DC continuity anymore.
No.
To me.
Oh, it's been long gone.
That's what I'm saying.
After
It's
Infinite Earths, I feel like...
That's fine. I don't mind that. But then it's like, oh, but let's actually try and make some... like, shut the fuck up. Now you're just artificially inseminating continuity into your universe, and that's gross.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I said? You didn't even notice that I said artificially inseminate. You didn't even notice it.
But here's the thing. I understand where you're coming from because...
Oh, you see where I'm coming from.
Because on one hand, it's like, but it just feels like the same shit we're told every couple of years, right? Every couple of 3, 4, 5 years.
Because from Infinite Earths leads into the new 52. We fucking heard this shit before, guys.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. The new 52 is something where it's like, this is a fresh take. We're starting all over. We're doing this whole thing.
It started
and
with
then it
the
goes into
fallout from something.
and then it goes into rebirth, and then there's the Doomsday Clock stuff, and then there's blah, 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 blah. That's all over the place. And then it goes like, okay, but now with DC Absolute, it's going to be years removed from continuity. It's going to be this stuff all over again. Okay. But isn't this what you have said in the past? What is making this different? And this is look, I like Scott Snyder, but I can tell when you're told to like this is the release, so he's going to say, and it's going to be on DC's website. So he's going to say the most politically correct thing to say, the most important thing that he'd say to his bosses of like, it's his exciting starting point, blah, 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 blah. When in reality, it's just the same shit over again.
No, somebody wrote the quote, showed it to him, and said, "Is this okay?" And he was
you,
like, "Sure."
And look, you and I have committed to giving it a fair shake, and I will.
Yes.
I will read the number ones. I will give it a shot.
It's Batman first, isn't it?
But, I want to be, yeah, Batman comes out in October 9th. I'm pretty sure.
So do we have to get the all in also?
No, well, I'm just saying, like, it's that Absolute Batman is what starts the all-in line. So, like, that's
But
just,
there is no like all in
no,
number one.
There's no series.
Because
called All-In.
the only reason I'm asking is a lot of times Marvel will do like
Yeah.
something alpha
Yes.
and then omega.
Fucking
Okay.
eat my ass.
You know what? Eat my ass.
You know what?
$1 million, bitch.
No.
I'll eat your ass.
There you go. Come on. Just fucking it up over and over again.
It's your fault. It's your fault. Be mad at yourself.
You saying I need to get a soundboard for us? So I can do it? Because you just...
All right, so Absolute Batman number one, yeah, is October 9th.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
I-
Only a month away.
It's just, and then look, I know we pulled that from DC.com, so that was going to be the most positive press release thing you could read.
Sure.
But it has been promised in the past, and I'm wondering how this is going to be different. And then if they're going to say, like, okay, well, and I was reading what they were talking about in IGN, because IGN is kind of positive on it, and I was just reading what one of these guys wrote, and he made a good comparison. Let's see who wrote this. Jesse Sheeden. It's a man. I don't know why that's important, but I was just like, he wrote this. I want to get the proper pronouns in there. He made a good point where he compares like Marvel rebooting the Ultimate line, and like, okay, so DC is kind of responding, maybe trying to do this, and that sounds interesting. And I honestly, you and I have talked. I have been pushing DC books on you more on this show. I've always been.
Yeah, and I'm getting fucking sick of it.
Hey, I've always been a DC cheerleader, and so I will support
I'm a Marvel
I,
shill.
I'm willing to give this a shot, and I'm interested in this.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
And I'm also excited just because, yeah, there is that appeal of Nick Dragata, who, again, last time I saw his work was East of West, which is fucking amazing artwork. And I love Scott Snyder's Batman work. So I'm excited to see what he does.
We
with
both
that.
read. We're kind of in the process because I don't know if it's like bi-monthly or some shit, but we're still waiting for number 4. There's also Batman. What is it? Just Batman in Space?
Batman Offworld. We've been talking about that for months.
So we still haven't found number 1. We might have to wait until the trade comes out.
Jason Aaron's Superman is November 6th. And then, Kelly Thompson's Absolute Wonder Woman is the 23rd, and then Superman is November 6th. We said this in the last time we were talking about the Absolute.
No, I know, but I'm saying that
I'm weirdly
Space
hyping
Age
it up.
was cool, so I'm looking forward.
We've said this
to...
before. We're retreading
Really?
stuff. No, I'm just saying that like we've talked about this a lot, and we clearly it is something interesting enough for us to.
I just wanted to reiterate for those newer listeners.
No, fuck them.
It's okay.
But they're right. DC's approach to this is we live in an age where you're going to, yes, a name makes a difference, like you talked about. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, they're going to sell. But we are in an age where people more than ever are going to follow the teams and follow the creators and follow the artists, because a lot of the times they could look at what Scott Snyder did, where he went independent and did all the stuff with Comixology, and what Substack has been doing with comics creators. And I think Marvel and DC are understanding again, like, oh, like when you put Jason Aaron's name on this, it means something. Like, he has a following. People follow his work, whether it's Marvel or DC or
I've
whatever.
said a million times how much I'll read anything that Mike Allred does.
And exactly, that's why I'm willing to give Absolute Batman a shot, because it's Scott Snyder. I love what Kelly Thompson's done, so I would love to read. Like, she actually had a really good run on Deadpool. She did a whole Deadpool series. Like, I like her work. I like Jason Aaron, obviously. So again, these teams are what's excite me. I like that we finally got some clarity. Like, we finally looked deeper into this and did more, because clearly we are interested in it. It's just a matter of, I don't know if it's something that's going to, excuse me, didn't mean to pop the mic there. I don't know.
God,
and this could just be me, But it's similar to you. There aren't a lot of books currently out there that make me want to invest every month. And that has nothing to do with the books. I think it has everything to do with the financial model that we live in. And I'm not even trying to complain about. I don't even think comics are that horribly priced.
I'll say.
To be honest,
no, they're not. I mean
some of them are like $6 for one issue.
Everything is too high priced. Anyway,
true. Everything is.
But if I had the money, I'd be at the comic shop every fucking Wednesday, and I'd have a list. This is what I want. I want this week. I'd know what's coming up. I know it's coming out. And just like when I was a kid, I would do a mail order through American Comics, and we would get these catalogs that were like months in advance of what's coming out. And there were times when I would order something. I remember I can't remember what it was, but it never came out. It kept getting pushed back, and I think it was one of the Image books. And it kept getting pushed back, and eventually I got a refund for it because it just got canceled. I can't remember what the fuck it was.
That tends to happen with Image more because that's creator-owned.
Well,
and
when Image first came out, first of all, Liefeld couldn't get a schedule to save his life. Spawn was the only one that was actually, I think, monthly. And then Savage Dragon was pretty good at being monthly and whatnot. But Liefeld's shit... he could not fucking, and Jim Lee's Wildcats also had delays and stuff.
Yeah, I mean they were both pretty still active with DC and Marvel at that time.
I don't know. All I know is that McFarlane did fine with his Spawn. It's a testament to Spawn and Savage Dragon that they're the only ones who are still around.
Didn't Jim Lee fold the Wildcats into Wildstorm? Like,
yeah, he
folded it into DC.
I believe
because there's like DC Wildstorm. Or
I
some
have
shit.
no proof of this, but as a creator, if I had that opportunity to keep characters, that I would have done the same. Because then I'll come back because they asked him,
sure,
right? Because they were faltering and they needed and Jim Lee still got an amazing talent.
He's Mr. DC,
right? He is.
He's been there forever,
right? But when he first came back,
no, that's what I mean. Like they that's a great incentive for him to be like,
right, yeah, oh, yeah. You know what? I would love to come back and run DC.
Do I get a cut of these characters if they show up in anything?
Would like to bring these characters back and still own the exclusive rights to them, but we can put like Zealot and whatever in the DC universe.
That's a double-edged sword, though. Ask Alan Moore about that.
Well.
Because why is it? You don't want to know.
Alan Moore got fucked.
He got fucked because do you know the story behind that? I know we're getting off topic here, but that's the show.
Shit.
Fuck you. We're having a broader comics discussion here. But you know why the DC constantly reprints Watchmen and does Watchmen projects? Because they don't have to pay Alan Moore if they constantly do that.
His contract said something about like as long as the print runs out. As long as they don't sell or something like that, then rights revert back to Alan Moore.
So as long as they keep reprinting the book, they don't have to pay him, which is how they fucked him over.
Well, I think that's why they started the Before Watchmen shit, was because that's why they did the
HBO series. Yeah. That's why they're doing that HBO. They're doing that animated movie that they're splitting into two parts.
I hate that
That's why they did the motion comic.
I hate that I consume the stuff that makes Alan Moore like spin. Like he's not dead, but in whatever he sleeps, not a coffin, I'm assuming. But you know what I mean? Like that I don't know. I would feel really shitty about that too if like every time if it was really because the Watchmen show was really well done and I consumed it. And I am one of the people that causes those issues.
That show was awesome.
I am one of those issues that causes. I'm one of those people that causes issues for Alan Moore because I consume whatever they put out that has Watchmen overtones because it's such a good story. Like I'm part of the problem, and I hate that about myself. But as a creator, that would drive me nuts. Like I'm not gonna ever see a dime of any of this stuff that I see every day.
It's unfortunate because you are seeing creative people that love this story get a chance to do it because DC is going to constantly do adaptations of it.
Yeah, I guess.
But it's also like that sucks for the original creator. And that's just the way it is. That's the business. I'm pretty sure he said himself, I don't own these characters. So, I mean, like, that's the thing. That is what happens when you work with a publisher like that. You don't own those
To
characters.
be honest, if I was an artist, and I have no idea how financials go at all, but if I got a lot of money to do like a Watchmen adaptation, I'd be like 5% goes to Alan Moore
some way work
and,
that out.
and Dave Gibbons.
Dave Gibbons.
Isn't he the artist?
Yes.
Dave Gibbons.
Dave Gibbons.
Dave Gibbons is
Oh,
British,
also,
love.
Can we talk about that?
No.
Segueing into another little side
Sure.
topic.
Let's do it.
Have you seen the trailer for the Watchmen animated movie?
I have not.
So it's 2 parts.
Is it a James Gunn blah 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 or no?
It's just its own thing. I don't know what it is. But here's the thing. I'm watching this. I see the trailer. It looks like I'm interested in the animation style they chose. But here's the thing. For me, it is, I say what you will about Zack Snyder. His Watchmen movie, and I have the director's cut on Blu-ray. I think his Watchmen movie is the closest you're ever going to get to an adaptation of that story. Even with the altered ending where it isn't the squid, it's a bomb.
Right, but it's yeah.
So it's hard for me to shake the fact, because say what you will, that movie is perfectly cast. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is amazing as the comedian. Rorschach is played brilliantly by Jackie Earle Haley. All of them are great.
Patrick Wilson.
Patrick
is
Wilson,
awesome as the Night Owl.
Malin Ackerman is Silver Spectre. Like, oh, dude, fucking Billy Crudup absolutely slaughters Dr. Manhattan. Amazing role.
Whoever that
And so
dude
it is
was who
hard.
played.
It is hard for me, and that's why I think it's so smart about the HBO show that it's a sequel, that I don't have that issue. So watching this animated trailer, I'm like, it's good, but I cannot shake those versions of the characters. Like, I cannot shake that. When I hear Rorschach's voice, even when I read that book now, I hear it as Jackie Earle Haley. Like, it's just a hard,
Right.
And
Well,
but it's also like, how many fucking times can we adapt this story?
right. Well, the thing I liked about the Watchmen show is it was a sequel, but it was never really made clear if it was the sequel to the comic book or to the movie.
The squid makes it very clear it's the comic.
Right, but I'm saying like there are elements from the movie too.
Yeah, because the movie is so close, to the original. Yeah.
Anyway,
honestly, the ending is the only change.
I watched a movie called it was Ewan McGregor. It was a sequel to The Shining. What the hell is it called?
Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, Dr. Sleep. And in that movie, it's the movie version of The Shining is acknowledged as well as the book version. And they do it in a clever sort of way. And I really liked that. And to me, that's why I really liked the Watchmen series, was because they kind of toyed with the idea of is this the movie version or is it the comic book, canon, lore, version. And they toyed with that. That's what I liked about it. I don't know anything about the Watchmen animated movie, but if they don't do it right, why the fuck did you do it?
But that's
so. What is it?
Why do we need
Why
it?
is it animated and why is it 2 parts? Is it because they?
Well, I imagine how they're gonna do it is because it's 12 issues, right? So they're gonna just do 6 apiece. Like the first part is the first 6 issues, and the second, because they're trying to get more money out of you.
Sure.
I want to know when that comes out on Prime, or not Prime, on
I'll watch
Max,
it. I'll watch
HBO Max.
I'm sure I'll watch it.
That's right.
Much to Alan Moore's chagrin again.
I mean, but this is the thing, is like, you can't really keep. Why do we need another one?
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna look at the cast.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
Do something like that. Let's go to Long Box.
Yeah.
Well, while you're looking that up,
No, fuck your long box.
I don't
Fuck
care.
my long
We
box.
can just stop. Should we clean it up, bitch? We're recording. Are we?
It's a long box.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, baby.
Wow.
Tyler.
Wow.
Tyler. I want to.
Roger?
I don't know. I'm gonna save Fall Guy for next week because I'm gonna finish it because I'm a parent of a 2.5-year-old, so we had to stop watching this movie multiple times. I've tried to watch it 3 times, failed each time. So once I actually do, and I was watching the extended cut, which is like an extra 20 minutes, so it's 2.5 hours instead of 2 hours. So I'm gonna finish it. But anyway, this week's long box. Back to what I was originally gonna do. Is a book that I just read. because I'm kind of a book girly now. I'm all about reading books and okay. Thank you. I deserve that. Anyway, the book that I just finished is a book that I've been kind of trying to find for a while. And again, shout out to my local library. I was able to find it.
Always talking about the goddamn library.
So the book that I'm talking about is called Football for a Buck: The Crazy Rise and Crazier Demise of the USFL. Jeff Pearlman wrote it, and it is truly one of the more interesting, bizarre stories in sports, like what the USFL was. And like as crazy as the XFL was in 2001, like what the stories that you hear about the guys that played in the USFL in 1983 to 1986, like the just bizarre stuff. Like the one of like I can't remember what team it was again, but there's an example of one guy that would like lead the team like prayer and stuff, and then he got caught having sex with a prostitute, like behind a dumpster or something.
I don't believe you.
And it was just like the crazy stories like that. And they would talk about how like there was one guy that was a quarterback that was like coming in, like there was so much cocaine use in the USFL and so much drug use. Like there was one guy who would smoke a joint before every game, and then but he was like one of the best receivers in the league. And then his teammate was like, fuck it, man, I'll smoke a joint, and maybe I'll catch as many passes as him. And he freaked out and was like not having a good time. He's like, I never smoked weed again. Never did it. Never touched it. But it's just like stories like that of like just bizarre stories. Like there was a story of George Allen. I don't remember if you remember that NFL coach.
Yeah.
Coach. He was the Chicago Blitz coach, and he sent like fake scouts that had like fake USFL gear on, filmed the other team so he knew all their plays, and like crushed them. Like they knew every play the other team was running because they illegally filmed them. So he was like pre-Belichick Spygate.
Yeah.
Like there's just like just stories like that all over. There were stories of they had the San Antonio or the LA team ran out of money because they never did a proper vetting process on the owners. And what started out as a solid idea got worse. So, like, we're going to play in the spring and not compete with the NFL because there's no football on. People love football. We'll have and it worked. And then they're like, let's expand after the first season. They're like, 6 more teams. And we're going to bring in Donald Trump as an owner. Yeah. And not politically at all. I will tell you right now, if you read this book, you will find out that this man has not changed in 40-plus years. And that should tell you everything you need to know. Because he gets involved.
There's a movie coming out with him being played by Sebastian Stan.
Oh yeah. And the more he gets involved, the more he wrecks the whole league and just destroys everything.
No.
And it's such an interesting, fascinating book.
That guy.
And there's so many.
That guy is a healer.
But at the end of it, honestly, at the end of the book, I was smiling because it's like you see some of this, because it ends with a lot of the stories of the guys that ended up, like how much talent there really was in the USFL, like how many got NFL contracts, and probably like the success of it being, and what is kind of turned into the new USFL and XFL that's the UFL now. Yeah. Of like
UFL?
Damn it. First of all, we're never going to compete with the NFL. Secondly, let's compete. Let's work so much with them and be like, yes, we're a spring league, and we're gonna.
Yeah. Why have you never tried?
Why not just say like, okay, like let's work together
we're the B league
and put these guys, give these guys that maybe it didn't get a look.
We're the minor leagues.
Didn't get drafted. Didn't get
NBA's got it.
They
MLB's
always
got
sold it as
hockey's got
this is the second chance league. Exactly. Yeah. And it's like. It's crazy how much the USFL originally could have been so successful.
The reason why
got too greedy.
The reason
why
it's
an amazing book.
Football. The reason why the other football leagues have really not worked is because of the timing of it. And football has largely been, summer, late summer to mid January or so. January, February, right? And when you have football in the spring, if you're trying to make the NFL team, you're basically not getting any time off at all or whatever.
Yeah.
But the biggest reason why these minor league football leagues have never really worked out is because college football is the de facto
Yeah.
minor league for the NFL.
But that changes now with NIL and all that other
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
also, by the way, Jeff Pearlman is the guy that was the author of the book that is based on Winning Time. That's Winning Time is based on the show.
Hey, you know what? Jeff Pearlman's
So
winning.
also, I want to point out
He's winning.
while that show was canceled, it was BS because fuck you, David Zaslav.
Yeah.
But if you're to adapt another work of Jeff Pearlman, please do this book because I would love to see a show of this because it is begging to be.
I want to see somebody doing cocaine.
Dude, there are so many that's not even the beginning of it, of like just how many times towards the end how many players were playing for like 2, 3, 4 weeks without being paid.
Oh yeah.
Because checks kept bouncing because they didn't do enough vetting of being like, hey, do you really have enough money to sustain a football team? No, not really. Wow.
You done?
I'm done. Are you done talking about a thing you like? Let me talk about a thing that I like. Fuck you. Throw my headphones down. I quit.
Fucking bullshit. Get out of my house.
No, I'm just going to hold my middle finger. Oh, continue.
Check it out, man. I don't give a shit.
I hit you with a fucking stunner.
Wow.
Get out of my house.
Wow.
I drank one beer. What? All right, continue.
2 beer.
I cried.
You're gonna do
I hugged him. What? Kissed him. What? Yeah, what would you say? What happened? What did we do? Where are we?
I'm doing the long box.
I'm in Roswell.
My long box is I'm in Roswell, New Hampshire. I am going to my long box is I have Prime Video and a lot of you do too. And there's a thing on there and it's basically WB Kids is the little bug that's on the screen when I click on it, but it's called Cartoon Rewind. I don't know if it's like a channel you can get on Prime or what, but it's on my continue watching list. My, whatever the layout is, and you go and see what you're watching. So it's right there, and it's one of those shows that it's like a streaming channel that you click in whenever you want, but it's not like on demand like a lot of streaming is. It's just playing all the time. So at various times during the day and night, I'll be, going to watch Night Court or whatever, and click on, there's Police Academy, the animated series. There's Beetlejuice, the animated series. There's Centurions. There's Challenge of the GoBots, Mon-Chi-Chi. I mean, it's insane, like all the crazy
like deep cut shit.
Oh, we're talking like cartoons from like the early '80s and all cartoons. Silverhawks, all commercials for toys. Silverhawks is one of my favorite cartoons and one of my favorite toy lines. Everything was shiny. I'll have to show you it online. But I urge you, if you have Prime Video, to find Cartoon Rewind and just have it up there because you'll be surprised. You'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go watch this movie that I've heard about. Oh my God, is fucking Pirates of Dark Water on? Holy shit! I gotta watch that shit, dude.
Are you like
Dino Riders on? Holy fucking shit!
Are you like me where you have like moments of like you think you remember these movies or these shows and like it's just like a fever dream, like nobody else had ever seen it, and then you see it's like that of like you see it and you're like, holy shit. This was a real thing.
And the animation is
because you're not sure if you imagined it or not.
And it's not nearly as good as you thought. Okay, now...
Well, it's because they're so cheap because they had to produce so many fucking episodes.
The only cartoon that has stood up from my memories to now that I truly am like, yeah, that's exactly how I remember it, and it still holds up. No shit, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I know you're going to laugh, but it's true. Every one of those episodes is still as good as I mean, it's still corny and shit because it's a Saturday morning cartoon.
It's a kid's show.
Yeah. But yeah, for the most part, it's fun to just see something like, oh my God, this is horrible. Like Police Academy, the animated series is terrible because they based it, they started it like around 6 or 7, right? Yeah. They didn't do it because the first movie is clearly for adults.
Yes.
It was around 3 that they started bringing in the family-friendly shit.
The first 2 movies are much more like hard. Maybe
Right.
not hard R, but like some like the first one was
Not for kids.
definitely pushing
Basically.
PG-13.
So when I
R-rated
saw
stuff,
it when I
yeah.
was 11, I was like, "Whoa, I'm not supposed to be seeing this. This is great."
Yeah, I didn't bother.
Of course I
I
watched
didn't
it
bother watching
before I was
anything
17.
past 6.
I think I saw 4 in the theater.
To be quite honest with you, I could not tell you anything about those Police
Well, okay.
Academy movies
Right, but
at all.
Bobcat Goldthwait at some point, I want to
That
say
and
2 or 3,
Michael Winslow. That's it. That's
comes,
the only 2.
comes on the Force, and he is on for a couple of movies. So it's around the time that he comes on, and I can't remember his character, but the animated series, and they made
I was doing
the animated series and the toys, that they made for the animated series.
I know you turned my mic off.
I did not turn your mic off. You just, I think, just found like your manners. So there.
I turned my mic
it's
on.
fine.
To
Just
be
turn it
off
off.
to be
Just
a nice
turn
guy.
it up.
You're over
Just
here.
shut up. Will you just let me finish my long box and we get out of here? For God's sakes. There's a cartoon, obviously, and then a toy line, and one of the big things was the big toy line. So Bobcat's character is one of the main characters in the cartoon. Well,
I'm
I
not
guess,
supposed to talk.
oh my God.
I shrug.
Just listen to your long box and listen to how long you can just talk and just pontificate on the thing that you like and all that. And just for how long stretches that I don't say a goddamn fucking word. And every time I think about when you're doing your long box, I'm like, hey, maybe I should add a or maybe comment or like be a part of it. And I'm like, no, because it's his long box. And then I try to do mine, and you're just constantly just yeah, fucking. You know what I like about it? Bobcat Gold. Let me give you an impression of Bobcat Goldthwait. By the way, while I'm at it, let me just go to town. That's all, folks. Have a good night. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.